Hey guys, so I'm here with a book haul. I don't have as many books to show you as in my last book haul, but I've accumulated quite a few, so I thought I'd go ahead and show them. So let's go ahead and get started with my Kindle books first. First book I got on my Kindle was Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge. It was a deal, so I bought it, and I think it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I've heard mixed things about it, but I thought I would go ahead and get it because it was only $1.99. The next book I bought on Kindle was Afterworlds by Scott Westerfeld. Once again, it was a deal for $1.99, and I thought I would go ahead and get it. I read Scott Westerfeld's Ugly series, and I didn't really like it, but I thought I would give him a second chance and try this one because it sounded really cool. It's kind of like a story within a story. It's alternating chapters between this girl who's writing the story and then the actual story, and I just thought that was a really cool concept, so I thought I'd go ahead and get it. The next book I got is All That Is Solid Melts Into Air by Dara McKeon, and this book, it's about the Chernobyl disaster, but I don't know too much about it other than that, but it was another deal. Once again, that's pretty much all the Kindle books I buy, I just get for cheap. The last book I got on my Kindle is 10 by Gretchen McNeil. This is a retelling of Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None, which I read like for school years and years ago, and I loved it. The next two books I got from Book Outlet. The first one is Winter Spell by Kate LeGrand. This is a retelling of The Nutcracker. We've seen The Nutcracker a few times before, and I loved it. So I thought I would pick this up, and maybe I'll read this closer to Christmas because it's kind of a wintry kind of read. But it was $4.99 on Book Outlet, and I had a coupon, a $5 off coupon. So I decided to buy it, but since I wasn't spending $5, I had to buy something else, and so I found Scintillate, I don't know how you say that, I'm sorry, by Tracy Clark. This was 79 cents. It's a paranormal book, and it's set in Ireland, I believe, and I thought it sounded really cool, I guess, and it was only 79 cents, so I figure if it's not very good, then I didn't waste too much money on it. But I actually am kind of excited to read this one, and hopefully I'll read it soon. Next book I have is Miss Mayhem by Rachel Hawkins. This is the sequel to Rebel Belle, and I've read this one, and I talked about it in my June wrap-up, so go watch that if you want to hear my thoughts. But yes, it wasn't as good as the first one, but it was still good, and I can't wait for the third one. This next book I got at Ollie's, which is this bargain store. They have a lot of stuff, but they have books, and I always go in there and look around and see if I can find stuff. Sometimes you can find some, like, books there that you wouldn't expect to find. And so I found The Lucky One by Nicholas Sparks. I've been kind of collecting Nicholas Sparks books. I've read 3 of them and I enjoyed them all a lot, so yeah, I want to read this one too. And I've been collecting his movie covers, kind of weirdly enough, just because that's just what I find for cheap. And I don't really love the movie covers, but I've kind of been collecting them, so I think I'll keep collecting the movie covers. And on that note, at Half Price Books, I found The Longest Ride by Nicholas Sparks for $2, and I just grabbed it because, like I said, I've been collecting his books, and I also got it Half Price Books. The first one I got is Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close by Jonathan Safran Foer. I don't really know too much about what this is about, but I know it has to do with September 11th. But other than that, I don't really know. But I've heard really good things about it. I know there's a movie too, but this was $2 in the bargain section, and I figured, why not pick it up? The last 2 books are in a series, and they are Top 8 and What's Your Status by Katie Finn. She was also Morgan Matson, if you didn't know. I've read Top 8, and it's in my June wrap-up if you want to hear my thoughts. There's a third one, too, that I need to get at some point. But yeah, they were there for like $3, and so I couldn't pass that up. These last 3 books I got at Barnes & Noble, of course, because I love Barnes & Noble. The first one is The Boy Next Door by Katie Van Ark. I read this one too. I read it in July though, so it'll be in my July wrap-up, but it was really good. It's a figure skating story, and I'm a big fan of figure skating, and it had really bad reviews on Goodreads, but the synopsis sounded so good that I couldn't pass it up, and I read it and I enjoyed it a lot. It wasn't my favorite, but I'll talk about it in my July wrap-up. Next book I got is The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. It's in paperback now, so I bought the paperback. And it's actually really funny. The pages are really thin because this book is like 500 pages, but it's like the same size as this one, which is only like 300 pages. So the pages are just really super thin. But anyway, I've heard really, really good things about this one. I know the sequel comes out soon, so I went ahead and bought it. And the last book in this haul is Belladonna by Fiona Paul. This is the sequel to Venom, and I had to get this one because I have to know what happens. There's a third book too that I need to get as well. It's out. And yeah, I can't wait to read this one. Hopefully this will probably be fairly soon I'll read this. So that's it for my book haul. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!